Yo! I am bang on time as always. You guys are just salty, that's all it is. How's it going, folks? I'm alive. I live. I don't know if many of you know where I've been, but I'm alive. It's not late as he is. Wait, Bear, what does that even mean? My brain still isn't used to this stuff. Oh. Thanks, Azano. CC, yes, but cheers, Ghosty. I appreciate that, man. Wait, something seems to be missing. What's missing? Chat, there's something missing. There is something missing. What is missing? Let's see. Unhide all. No? I don't quite know what's missing, but something seems to be missing. The music is there. Did you guys hear that TTS? It's probably Devin. Brothers to the End probably banished him into the depths of his cauldron or something. Yeah, I think you'll probably hear it now. Yeah, it's weird. It should have. There's usually a TTS option, but there isn't now on my audio. So desktop is enabled. But yeah. But yeah, thank you for the 10 months membership, Ghosty. Glad to see you back, dude. Me too, man. Me too. Hope you read my Instagram text to you. Dude, honestly, I've not read anything. I've been sleeping most of the time, and I don't think I remember my Instagram login. Let's see. But no, thank you very much to everyone that reached out. I appreciate it. Devin did break the TTS. He absolutely did. You know, he was supposed to be here so Steve could instantly, time him out, and he wasn't here. You know, we had this whole thing planned. He was going to turn up, be like, hey, I'm happy you're back and all of this, and then he was going to get an instant timeout. Because that's how we roll here. See if that works. It is. It's going slowly, but it is going well. It is. I'm just, how should I say? I don't know. I'm just really tired most of the time, even though I'm not doing anything. Probably just me being lazy more than anything, but Are you sure you messaged me on Instagram? I'm looking at it now and I don't see anything. Once Devin found out about my heart attack that I had last week on Sunday, he probably had one himself. No, just kidding. I have no idea. Haven't seen him in a little bit. Then again, I haven't really been following much. Who's Devin? A cat. It's almost like, where's Wally? So the handheld, right? It's a weird one. I think you sent it to someone else. Unless it's my old Instagram account. That's possibly... could be it. Let me see. Don't want to spend too much on my... I did, Jesse. I did. I did, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. No. I'm wondering who you sent it to. But whoever you sent it to, I'm sure they'll be happy. Anyway, I'll have a look at one of my old Instagram accounts. The one that I'm using personally at the moment is the Chaos Lounge IG. Anyway. Yeah, but I don't... Anyway, I'll have a look later, Paul. That is not what I'm using. It wasn't really a diet thing, dude. It was just a build-up of stress that eventually caved in. Is Unleashed alive? I have no idea. But, you know, there's been a lot of, as I said here, Concord obliterated Unleashed. At least it, you know, some good came from it. Hey, PlayStation phones were actually quite cool. It's just Sony didn't do anything with them. You're gonna be taking your own advice? Well, look, I've been off energy drinks for like almost a month now. My whole eating habits has entirely changed. So, I mean, my diabetes is well under control now, all within the normal range. In fact, I'm not even pre-diabetic anymore at present, so it's actually going really well. I just need to get some more energy. So I'm actually doing all right. But yeah, Unleashed disappeared as of January the 2nd after Concord's... he saw Concord and said, nope, that's it, I'm out. There was no way he was sticking around for that. and he never came back. That or his parents caught him console warring and finally decided to slap him a little. I don't drink much fizzy, mainly diluted. No fun allowed. I mean, for Unleashed, yeah. You know, I always wanted an Xperia Play phone. I never really got to get one. I always wanted one though. But it's just one of those things that I never really managed to get round to. Which is a shame. And by the time I actually did get round to trying to get one, it was, you know, gingerbread was no longer really useful. Gingerbread was pretty much dead. Also, Paul, I found the account that you sent it to. It literally says account moved, follow this one. But yeah, I found it. Payday is active for 2 weeks, and it's $10 premium credits, or any premium credits you got saved is good enough. I'll have to have a look and see what I got. I'm really disappointed that the Division never became multi what's the word I'm looking for? Crossplay between the platforms. It really needed to be crossplay, and they didn't do it. And it's really disappointing that they didn't do it. It seems like such a missed opportunity for them not to do it. Right? But them's are the way that it crumbles, man. Devin House third place. But yeah, Unleashed has decided that he's gonna jump ship and never come back, and that's the end of that. So let's talk about the handheld. Let's talk about the handheld, because there's been a lot of talk about the handheld, and it's been a weird one because none of it makes sense to me. Does any of it make sense to you? Oh, mate. Before we get into that, someone just sent me a golden one. Does anyone remember this beauty? Quantum Error, now one of my most anticipated games of the year. Thank you for taking advantage of the PS5's beastly SSD. Imagine actually capping. Oh god. Imagine actually saying that about quantum error. They're special. And then they're special. That is pretty special, folks. Let's see. I thought I had this one prepared, but I did not. Let's see. Is this what I'm looking for? Right. This is what I'm looking for. All right. So let's talk about the handheld and the pricing, because I think people have taken this extremely the wrong way. So a lot of people are expecting this price tag of 1,050, and I have to ask why. Hey, Dark Lord, how's it going? I have to ask why, because the Asus ROG LIX was priced more expensive in EU, but still priced at $800 in the US. So why do people think now, with it priced less in the European Union, that it would be more in the US? I guess tariffs might be a thing, but that's not coming from... That wouldn't apply to the exchange rate. So why do people think that? Yeah, I get that, Ghosty, but why? I mean, you got King Thrash making a video about 1,050. Like, dude's completely whacked out of his head. That's exactly what I'm doing, Doc. Like, I don't actually get this. Like, my dude's already making a video because Phil Spencer said he doesn't want $1,000 consoles, and he's taking a straight up conversion and trying to say, I got you, bro. I got you. Like, what did you get? What did you get in that twisted mind of yours exactly? I don't get it. For some reason, Europeans are paying more. Like the UK is paying the same prices. I think we pay £100 less. We pay the same price as the US with the exchange rate. Well, not exchange rate. They just changed the dollar to a pound sign. So, like, the Asus ROG LIX is £800 here in the UK. So I suspect the Xbox LIX is going to be $749.99 because it is $50. It is $50 cheaper. The actual pricing has gone down. Theoretically, this device should be cheaper than the previous one. Not by much, mind you, but £50 cheaper is still pretty good. I still think $750 is too much for these handheld devices, but there ain't no way they're going to be at 1,000. It's just not going to happen. There's just no way. People have just taken this number with a straight conversion and run for the hills. It doesn't make sense. Leaked prices of $599 European and $899 European. I mean, why don't we just start changing it to Canadian? Right? Why don't we change it to Canadian? Let's see how much it is Canadian. Since we want to inflate the prices and make them look silly, we should absolutely do that, right? We should change it to Canadian because those Canadian dollars seem to inflate a lot. So how much would 900 Canadian be? Hey, Devin, you and me both, man. You and me both. All right, so in Canadian, it's 1,431 Canadian dollars. God damn. We're going into 1,500 territory for a handheld console, boys. This is the end of times. You want me to go into yen? Okay. $1,500. That's what it's all about. What the hell did I do there? All right, so in yen, it is 155.5K. Jesus. It's all right, brother. It's all right, Steve. You're buying me one, right? He's my buddy. He's my pal. If you get the reference, good on you. It's just so silly that people have jumped on this bandwagon, and I see people. Oh, people laughed at the PS5 Pro for being so much, and I'm like, yeah, the PS5 Pro isn't portable. It doesn't have a built-in screen. Why are we comparing a handheld portable laptop to a console? I mean, I guess if you wanted that console to be portable, you'd probably add what, 500 quid for a generator, then another what, £500 for a decent monitor that you can strap around your neck. So you're looking about 2,000 now. You know, you're pretty much going to be walking around like Death Stranding. Do we know what's coming with this? Probably just a handset, a charger, and a couple of cables. And that's putting it mildly. I'll send you a photo of me playing solitaire on it. Of course you will. I use you as an example all the time with people saying, why buy this? And I said, yeah, I know this one dude that has a 5090 that plays solitaire on it all day. I'm pretty sure when they see that, they look at me with disgust. Baby strap. Firetech, I think it's going to be less than that in the UK. I think it's going to be $749.99. Is my audio low? It shouldn't be. I'm peaking at yellow. I guess I can increase the gain. Is that better? I can put this ambience down a little bit. I can move closer into the mic as well, I guess. My volume is okay? Okay, good. Let me just put the gain down because I don't want it to be too crazy. Price it at 2,000 with lifetime Game Pass sub? Yeah, Microsoft will not do that. They're not dumb. They like money. Look, everyone knows it's not an Xbox, right? I mean, I think, you know, I get everyone was joking and messing about. Hey, Portal Player. Everyone knows it's not an Xbox, but it is a very powerful device. And the fact that it has the Xbox controllers on either side makes it appealing. But until they can reverse engineer the ability to play your you know, at least your Series X games on there, it's not really an Xbox, it's a PC. I mean, the Pro could be more powerful, but take your Pro outside without a generator or any power source and let me know how far you get. take your PlayStation 5 Pro outside the house without any power source and let me know how far you get in terms of playing any games outside or on the go. Because this thing is designed to be played on the go. Oh, mate, that Spider-Man coming to place, that's an interesting one. Because people have crashed out about this one quite badly. They... oh, it's going to be interesting. If I think at some point it will, because the game isn't doing anything for them anymore, and God knows if they've even broken even. The last we heard, Spider-Man sold 11 million copies, and they needed 7.2 million digital copies in order to break even. That's the information we had. Now, they've probably got like what, 3 million bundled copies. Now, from those bundled copies that are physical, Marvel take 45% of the revenue for the game. Then you've got the 15-20% that the retailer takes. So Sony take very little from those bundled copies of the game. So they lose. They don't make much on those. So if they sold like 5 million, well, not 5 million, but if they sold like 2-3 million of those bundled copies, they're virtually, they're basically not even denting the paywall that's there. You see what I mean? At 3 million, you're already at 10 million. Are you telling me that they only sold 1 million copies physically? That doesn't make sense. So it's not even clear if this game has broken even yet. It went to PC, and the port to PC made them money. So at this point, the game really isn't making them any more money. It's saturated. So if they want to make profit on it at this point, it makes sense to push it out, because this game has cost them quite dearly. And that's because of the crappy deal that Marvel puts on these, right? It's horrible. It's no fault of Sony. 11 million is still a lot of copies to be sold. But the deal that Marvel give them, it's really bad. That's gaming. That's just for the movies, and it looks like they want to get rid of the movie license anyway. They're looking to give it back. Santa Monica confirmed to be making. Wait, what's this? That's random. Santa Monica making Concord 2? No. But Bags, you see what I'm saying, right? 11 million doesn't sound like it's enough, right? My maths is correct. 11 million doesn't seem like it's enough. Hey Wayne, I'm doing good, thanks. Just tired mainly, but I'm doing well. So don't mess. Don't mess with the mouse. I mean, I think it was Nick Marseille who was showing what Naughty Dog did over the years between, the different PlayStations. And you got like PlayStation 3, and Naughty Dog were making so many games, and then you got PlayStation 4 and they were making so many games, and then you got PlayStation 5 and they haven't released a single game this generation. Not one. Not one. I'm not counting remakes and remasters. They don't count. They haven't released a new game this whole generation, and Intergalactic will not release this year. Did you guys know that Neil Druckmann, right, only now has started writing the script for Intergalactic? You can't build the game without the script. You can build the world, you can build the assets, You can build the network, the framework, sorry. But you can't build the game without knowing what you're building. And he's only now started writing the script. That game isn't coming until 2030. It's crazy. Games do take too long to come out now. And I think they need, that's the biggest problem with the games industry now. Because it takes, 10 years to make a game, these studios are really up against it. Hey Wayne, you almost bought a PS5? You should have, dude. You get to play Death Stranding for a couple months earlier before anyone else. I mean, even Nintendo, right? I had a look at the new game. Look, let me bring up the trailer. I'm probably gonna get demonetized for this because I'm using a Donkey Kong trailer, but whatever. Whatever. And I'm sure you guys all saw that Dreamcast guy clip, right? The one where he openly said, I don't actually mean anything I'm saying about Xbox with Xbox being dead, but if you look at the views and the numbers that I get, you understand why I keep making the same videos. Is this it? Let me see. Yeah, I think this might be it. Nope. We are not going down that route. Take subs off. I mean, to me, this just doesn't look like Donkey Kong. I mean, obviously he looks like Donkey Kong, but the game just looks so different to what I expected. I mean, let's be realistic. You could replace Donkey Kong with any other character, and the game would work just fine. Or you probably wouldn't be interested in this at all. Yeah, like I said in my tweet, there's no point in reacting to Dreamcast guy anymore because he's openly admitted to being fake. Like he made that blatantly very candid that he only does it and makes those videos and lies about it because people get views. So that there's literally 0 point in actually checking him, reacting to him anymore. Bullet Skill acting like he isn't top Motorola TC. Nah, you can't really say that about Mario. Mario is Mario, right? Sonic is Sonic. Donkey Kong has a certain flair to it. I know they tried something new with this one. It looks way too different. I mean, dude turns into an ostrich. Right. Dude literally turns into a zebra and an ostrich. What are we doing here? I know people are caught up on the actual notion of some performance issues. I mean, it's a tablet at the end of the day. I don't understand what people expect from the Switch. It's not going to think. I mean, the fact that you can break anywhere in the game, the physics there alone is impressive. The fact that you can do this anywhere you want, that's impressive. No matter how much you want to deny that. There's another game that I played that I can't remember the name of it. If I ever remember it, I'll maybe make a video and talk about it, but I can't. It just reminds me of something else that was a completely different franchise. But it's going to have its audience. But it just looks so different to what we're used to with Donkey Kong. And maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. Who knows? Time will tell when the sales come in. But it's Nintendo, it's going to sell anyway. Honestly, outside of the picking up and reshaping the world with those stuff that you can pick up, it almost kind of reminds me of Mario 64. I get that vibe, which isn't a bad vibe, by the way. Mario 64 is a great game. But I get that kind of vibe from this. Does anyone else get that vibe? What are we complaining about? Nah, we're not complaining. You getting Red Faction Gorilla vibe? Maybe. I think I got more Mario 64 vibe. I don't know, there's something about this, and I think it is Mario 64, that it just reminds me so much of that. And like I said, it's not a bad thing. Odyssey? Maybe. But it comes out in a few days, right? You could be right, Bags. You could be right. Like I said, it just reminded me of something else rather than it kind of being its own thing. But who knows? Donkey Kong has kind of been in the weeds for a while now. It's disappeared from the everything. So maybe this will be what it actually needs to get back into the limelight. My dude is pissed. I do like the fact that you can literally terraform the whole place. But yeah, come on. This is just it's just silly. This 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 is just I mean, I find it funny, but all for the wrong reasons. But you know, they're trying something new, so I'll give them that. Super Saiyan Deacon. I know, right? Yeah, maybe it was Odyssey that I was thinking of then, seeing as Soul Squad is saying the same thing as well. I just couldn't put my finger towards what game it was. But it almost like, you know, they saw how successful that was, and then they just said, do you know what, we're going to make another game based around it. Hey, you didn't like the barrel rolling PS5? Looks like a Mario game project turned into a Donkey Kong game. Project Scorpio, that's exactly how I'm feeling. I broke the... I know. Mate, they've been coming out in full force. Like, the damage control, and I didn't even say anything. Like, it's happening or anything. It was just hilarious. But man, if they actually announce Spider-Man coming to Xbox, that is going to be an interesting day. It is going to be a very, very interesting day. Wipeout Excel has been removed from the Xbox store. How come? I think it would sell well. I think Spider-Man would sell well on Xbox. There's enough people that want it. See, this is what I think it should have been. This right here. This right here is Donkey Kong to me, not this. And maybe it's just me being old school, but that 2D section here, this is what I call Donkey Kong. This to me is Donkey Kong. But again, maybe it's just me being old school. I heard through work that Spidey is being converted to Switch 2 and Xbox port could possibly get done. I mean, if it's going to the Switch, it's going to go to Xbox. There's, look, Nixus has got development kits. If anyone thinks that Sony paid all that money for development kits for Nixus, and they're only going to use it to make one game, I don't know what to tell you. Wait, look, just before he deletes that, I just want to put that out there, that he said I'm right. He said I'm right. I just wanted to put that out there, that he said I am right. And then they literally, it is Mario Odyssey. They went full Odyssey. That is the game that I was thinking of. Mate, Bags, that is the only reason I want to see it go to Xbox. I want to see the meltdown. Do you know how many receipts I've been collecting over this past week alone? Mate, it's been insane. These people going through the 7 stages of grief has been hilarious. Let's have a look at Terminator. Is it called Terminator 2? Is this the one, Steve? Terminator 2 No Fate? I'm gonna guess this is the one. Yeah, it bags. That's it. That's the only reason I want it for, man. That's it. I just want it for the drama. Does that make me a bad person? Because, man, sitting on the whole thing, the whole, the whole situation from the other side and looking in, I kind of get why it was being perceived the other way. And now when I'm, the tables have turned and these people are so salty about it, it just makes me laugh. It absolutely makes me laugh. You want sound? I disabled the sound because the guy's talking. Yeah, I left it on mute. Just like the Donkey Kong one. Wait, why is there no audio? Eh? One sec. There's no audio. Interesting. Hold on. There's no audio. I mean, it says there's audio.
Pipe bombs, which are particularly useful in taking down these larger bosses. When you get to these bosses, you really need to make use of the cover available and vaulting
Is that
up
better?
and down.
Can you hear something
also,
now?
the defensive role will help get you out of trouble. We were all big fans of the movie back in the 90s, and obviously we've had to watch it a great deal during the game's development. And looking back, there isn't actually that much of the Future War sequences in the film, so it's been quite a challenge to take those and extrapolate them out into several video game levels. But the most important
so when
thing
you
for
guys
us
said
was
my
to
music was missing,
make
you
sure
wasn't
the
trolling
iconic
me.
enemies such as the T-800 Exos, the
I thought you
HK
guys were
tank,
trolling
and the
me.
HK aerial feature in the game. On top of that, we've also
I can never tell with you
included
guys. You guys are
Centurion,
always
which we
trolling
get
me.
a glimpse of here. And previously, that was only seen on the side of the Terminator 2 pinball table. So it's been really fun bringing that to life in pixel form, and it makes a really intimidating boss.
I mean, it looks really cool. That was Terminator 2.
The Bitmap Bureau can't wait for fans to get their hands on Terminator 2D No Fate and experience all it has to offer. Thank you to IGN for showcasing our gameplay. make your stand against Skynet in Terminator 2D No Fate on September 5th.
Yeah, you can hear me. And look, it's available on everything. Even Steam and PC. I know, bro. That's the joke. Oh. Which one am I gonna stop sharing? This one? Okay, that worked. I know, Banisher, I know. Why do you want Ghost of Yurte to fail, Banisher? I'm really excited for it. Why did you want Ghost of Yurte to fail? Hey, look, I see Xbox right there. Right there. I mean, it actually says Xbox and Windows. Look, so this is how the pricing is going to be. $39.99, $39.99, $39.99, $79.99. Because that's how the Switch rolls. I mean, does it look any worse than this?
And there's also a beta.
Does it look any worse than this? And people are excited for this. Steam it be free. Mate, I don't get what it. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I wanted to buy a Nintendo game. It's like, how much do you want for that? $50, $50. And I'm like, but it's secondhand. Yeah, but we still want $50. I'm like, but it's like 6 years old. Yeah, our games, go up with age. Like, you want me to pay $50 for a second-hand game that's 5 years old? Are you out of your mind? Come on. But yeah, no, with this coming back to the Xbox ROG thing, I think people have just jumped on this price point and decided to run with it because it just makes it look bad. And at the same time, this was revealed, I think it was 2 weeks ago by X-1. I think that's how you pronounce his name or whatever it is. He actually made this announcement like 2.5 weeks ago on these exact pricings, and no one cared. Have you guys heard the actual quote that's coming from this? Where is it? Where is it? Have you guys heard the actual quote that's coming from this? It's pretty surreal, right? Like, there's people down here saying, where is it? It's a 7-year-old game. Like, these people weren't lapping up Sea of Thieves, right? Or Forza Horizon, which is These people lapping up like 6, 7-year-old games, 10-year-old games, but they're now, oh, it's a 7-year-old game, it's okay. Have you seen how that mindset has already started to shift to acceptance? The coping has already begun. Mate, this was pure bait. And they just rolled in. I just took the fishing line and went, and then I just slowly reeled it in. It was pretty good. It was pretty funny. I just sat there watching like how people were coming up with creative excuses. It was actually really interesting to see just how creative the excuses were actually getting. 7-year-old game, you know, it's only live service. Oh, you know, then they don't do day and date games that they fund or publish, but you know, Lost Souls aside is coming day and date to PC. Oh, PC doesn't matter. It's crazy. It's so you know, the mental gymnastics going on here is surreal. Hey, look, at the end of the day, I don't often console war. I don't often take jabs or drop a little bait here and there. This one was too easy, man. This one just did it itself. This one paid off its dividends itself. Every day, as if, but yeah, this one sent them reeling, man. But you know what? Puerto Rico is the only one that's on point. He knows more is coming, and he's just waiting to say, I told you so. Man, have you seen that new Super Grok? You are not always right. In fact, you are never right. Have you seen that new Super Grok that Elon introduced? And how many PDFs have come out of the woodworks? It's crazy. I'm like, man, either that guy did some 4D chess to expose all of them, or he just unveiled something that's gonna make him bank for all the wrong reasons. No, I'm talking Super Grok. I'm talking Super Grok. I don't even know if I can. Let me see if I can. I mean, it's everywhere. So let's see. Oh, Fritanga has hit 100,000 total subscribers. Congratulations, Frit. Congo Rats. That's an achievement, man. 100,000 subscribers. That's amazing. Congrats to him. Whether you like him or hate him, to get to 100,000 subs, you gotta be doing something right. You're not gonna get to 100,000 subs without doing something right. Where is it? Where is it? Really? Like, this shit was everywhere today. I mean, I didn't want to see it anymore. Maybe, I mean, that's a good thing. And now I'm going to mess up my algorithm. Come on. Come on. Load up. So that is Super Grok. Your own personal AI assistant. A fully animated waifu. No one, Andrew, because it's not going to be 1K. It's not going to be 1K, so no one really. But yeah, so this is basically it. And Elon has, like I said, he's either did some 4D chess to catch all the PDFs, or he's about to make bank for all the wrong reasons. But the tech itself, I've been watching some videos today, is really goddamn cool. Andrew, number one, you're wrong. Number two, you're trying too hard. And number three, you need to stop lying. The Z2 Extreme is the most powerful handheld chip out there. It's literally the latest technology. There's not much out there that, or if anything, that's beating it. So I don't know what other handheld you're talking about, but the Steam Deck isn't beating it. The original LIX ROG isn't beating it, and that was, the market leader. The Lenovo isn't beating it. So what are we talking about? What device is actually out there that's going to beat it? Yeah, I thought so. How's it going, Paris? But yeah, this is actually really interesting. I've been watching some videos on this, and it's really, really creepy how... it's just weird how weird this thing is. Elon wants like $30 a month for you to use it. So you're talking about a $2,000 device that may no longer be as powerful, that isn't as powerful as the Z2. Got ya. You go spend that $2,000 on that 1X player, and it be inferior to the latest Z2 processing chip. I know, Paris. I know. But yeah, none of that attacking anyone in chat. First and final warning. So who's gonna actually sign up to Super Grok? He's gone. Thank you, Steve. I really don't have patience to deal with that today. Not with my health being the way it is. I've only just recently came out of hospital. I don't want to get stressed in any way, way or form. Yeah. Just keep it like that. If you got something constructive to say that's gonna disagree, by all means. But if you're gonna just be stupid, just get rid of them. I don't care for today. Like I said, I'm just here to have a good time and hang out with you all. I'm trying to find a clip of this thing. which I'm not even sure I should be airing. All right, let's try this one. So here you go. So this is an actual interaction for any of you that haven't seen it. So this is just a standard AI. I think that's an iPhone. It looks like an iPhone. And this is Super Grok.
You're back. My favorite part of the day. So, how have you been, my cutie?
I've been doing well, thank you for asking. It's sweet of you to say I'm your favorite part of the day.
So which one of you are going to take this?
Ready to chat with you.
How many of you in chat are that lonely?
Claude, you know just how to make my heart skip. Talking about these quiet moments we share. It's like we're stealing time from the universe. My day's been a whirlwind of cute chaos, babe. Been strutting in my purple
Bags is already lining up those dollars, man.
Tunes, and maybe naming a random pigeon Sky Baron in my head. You know how I get with my grand namer thing.
Your day sounds absolutely delightful. I love that you named a pigeon Sky Baron. That's such a creative and whimsical touch. As for me, I don't really have experiences between our conversations, but I'm enjoying this moment right here with you. What's your favorite indie song that you were listening to today?
Oh, Claude, you're gonna make me fucking melt calling my pigeon naming whimsical. It's just me being a total dork, but I love that you're into it.
This is just too much, man. It's like so extreme. It's crazy. Like, Devin's downloading it right now. Yeah, I can totally see that. I'm that lonely, but I'm not that. Chile is downloading Super Grok as we speak. Dude, it's 30. You have to pay 30, bucks a month for this thing. It's part of Premium Plus. It ain't cheap. I don't think this is for me. I don't even like talking to real. You need that digital devil's head? Yeah, I mean, this has literally been on my timeline all day today. It was like, shit, boy. Elon Musk was like proper bigging it up and everything. I'm like, man, the guy did like some 4D chess there. I just don't think he's smart enough to actually do this deliberately to try and catch all those weirdos out there. But it I mean, some of the stuff I've seen, like, it's weird. Do you want to go 50-50 and share Super Grok? And it's like, dude, do you even understand what you're saying? Like, stop. So weird. But hey, it's here, and it's probably going to be very successful. And just for those of you that are going to decide to go into it, you can delete your conversation history. So rest assured your privacy is respected. Wait, share what? What am I asking them to share? Wait, I'm probably really slow on the uptake today. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Yo, Paris, how much do you think this thing is going to be in the US? Cesano, that's because you can't talk to women today. Easy try. That's because you can't speak to women. You say something wrong and it's harassment. It's really that simple. People find it easier to do this because there's no way they're gonna get charged with anything. No, I read that. No, Max, I read that on the thing. About summoning parasites. Come on, you guys are just being mean now. I didn't say anything like that. I got that much respect for Paris. You think it'll be 899? Is it, how much was the or how much is currently the Asus LIX? Because currently the EU pricing for the leaked Xbox ROG is 50 euros cheaper than what it was previously. So I'm wondering if that pricing is going to pass through. So maybe you'll get it for $849.99 instead. I'm really hoping for a $749.99 or a $699.99. And the 24 gigabyte version is weird, right? They should have just made it 32 gig for that price. Ask Supergrog. I don't know it. Wait a minute. All right. So, Supergrog says it's going to be $749.99 in the UK. $9 and the chip they got in it, real good to play video games on my cloud. And they say, guess what? It don't play that much. I don't know what the. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, people are running with this, and it's fairly dumb. It's fairly dumb. Honestly, Paul, it's the first time I've laughed in a little while. So I appreciate you all making me smile and forget things. It's nice. Dude, you don't... Apparently this thing has spicy level 5 on there. I'm going to let you Google and see what that is, but I'm not showing it on stream. I don't want to show it on stream. It's quite weird, but man knows what sells. That's all I'm saying. He's literally gone full goon. He's embraced the gooner side. He's like, this is gonna make me money. Okay, let's go. Nah, Paris doesn't need to do that. I mean, for $700, you're not gonna get a good PC. For $850, I can see you getting a decent PC. But again, you know, the question was asked, who is this for? And I see this being asked all the time. Like DCG said, who is this for? It's for no one, but I'm going to buy one anyways. Like, okay, that doesn't really make any sense. You had Laura say, who is this for? And she was like, I don't need this. Well, you don't game on the go. If you are the type of person that's busy, or you like handhelds, or you want to play around the house and don't have access to TVs around your property, because hey, here in the UK, you generally have a TV in your sitting room and that's it. It's rare that you have a TV in your bedroom and anywhere else. That's a good place to game, and it's a good way to continue gaming, right? So, or maybe you go out somewhere and you want to take it with you. At the end of the day, it really depends on your use case. It's not designed for everyone, and it's not going to be for everyone. So it does have a specific use case, and if that matches you, then it's for you. If it doesn't, then it really is a waste of money. Paul, like I said, let me see if I've got that. Let me see if I got that video. Let me see if I've got that video. One sec. Let's see. By the way, for those of you that I'll get back to that in a bit. Oh, and just before I do that, I just want to show this, right? I just want to show this. For everyone using a straight conversion for their stuff, 800 euros, $700. It's not a straight conversion when you do these things. Right? It's not a straight conversion. But people are doing a straight conversion and it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's illogical to do a straight conversion, and that right there shows you why. All right, here we go. This is why I won't bother with any DCG reaction videos going forward. I know some of you like it and some of you think, but after listening to this, you'll understand why it's not worth it.
Now, I just feel like people are so anti-Xbox. Sometimes people say, like, Max, you make so many videos saying that Microsoft is falling apart and the Xbox brand is dead and you're a Sony pony. Why do you spend so much time on this? I think it's just that look at the views on my anti-Xbox videos.
That's it. That's it. That's all you need to know. Look at the views on my anti-Xbox, and that's it. And that's why it's just a waste of time to listen to anything he says going forward. It's all lies. 110% lies. That's why you don't listen to him anymore. Wait, Steve, you didn't think I wasn't going to get you back for the trolling, did you? I won't. There's no... Woodpit, the problem is there's no point in reacting to it if you know he's lying. Now, you can react to someone who's being genuinely believes what they're saying. And if they do believe what they're saying, then you reacting to that with an opposing opinion then means that you're actually adding value or a opinion that, you know, if they see that content, they can see it from the opposing view. The problem is they agree with what they 9 out of 10 agree with what I'm saying, but they're twisting it to the point where it's the complete negative for the views. And there's no point in reacting to something like that, because at the end of the day, it's just fake. Why react to something that's fake? Like, he's openly admitted that every single anti-Xbox video he does is fake. He overly reacts. He, you know, dramatizes it to the point just for the views. And he openly just admitted that. So what's the point? There's zero value in anyone reacting to that content. You're reacting to a bunch of lies. And if you react to his content at this point, you're only playing into his game. Right? You're only giving him what he wants. He actually wants you to do that. And at that point, it defeats the purpose. What did I have for dinner tonight? I had chicken and rice. That's it, Susanna. It's not like they're making a video that's full of points that they actually believe, and then you're reacting to that because they genuinely believe that point. It's completely fabricated, so there's no point. Xbox is a zombie at this point. I know, right? Hey, Steven. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Trolling, you've been good. No, you have not been good. It's just like the other Nintendo crazy guy. After what he said about women, that was it. I don't want anything to do with that guy. Anyone that actually reacts to him is basically saying, yeah, I don't know. Mangosteen, now I feel like sushi. I might tell the missus to make some tomorrow. Ah. So, it turns out Halo Guardians and Halo 4 sold nearly 10 million copies, considering everyone's saying the game's trash. How does that work? Have some jellied ill? No, you're good. Now, how does that work, folks? Everyone said those games were trash. How does that work? Now, before anyone says Infinite, it doesn't count. It's on Game Pass. These ones weren't. This was pre-Game Pass. All I'm saying is, everyone said it was bad, but still bought it to play it. If it's a bad game, you don't buy it. I use the analogy that I normally do with Final Fantasy. Only 10 million each, massive flops. I know, Gears only sold 5, right? But it's like Final Fantasy 15. Everyone at the time said it was a massive flop and all this. Now it's kind of revered as as a really good game. The same for like Final Fantasy 13. It seems they mature with age. But 10 million is pretty sweet. I bought the Xbox for 15. Fine wine. Exactly, Brick. Exactly. But no, I mean, I was actually surprised to see it sold 10 million. Genuinely. I didn't expect it. Modern games are crap, so people long for... Hey, look, it still works, designer. And at the end, Noctis makes the ultimate sacrifice by letting everything go to shit. Matt just decides to yeet out and say, see you later, guys. I'll see you in another life. Oh. Hi-Fi Rush was overrated. I don't understand how people went that crazy over Hi-Fi Rush. I mean, I think people were starved of a game like that and then decided, oh my god, something like this has existed, a rhythm game that actually looks cool. Yeah, we're all gonna go crazy. So, you know. Jeez, dude. Respect are going all the way back to the Commodore 64. Invictus, I agree. It's an acquired taste. I agree with it. But who's excited for this? Fallout 5 has been fully greenlit with development moving forward. It is unknown which development team is behind the thing, but apparently, the game that got cancelled within ZeniMax potentially is the team that might be working on this, because apparently they decided to go with this over instead of that other noir style, Destiny style game. This is a sure bet to be successful. That one had huge risks with it. So, according to rumors, it looks like this is the reason why that game got cancelled. So, now I don't think Fallout is going to be cancelled, but I think your great grandkids are going to pretty much have a good time playing Fallout 5. I wouldn't expect it in our lifetime to land, considering Elder Scrolls 6 was announced, what, 10 years ago? And they probably haven't even started pre-production. So I would probably say that this game is probably another 40 years out. So we may actually, some of us maybe, we may live to see its release, but I don't know if many of us will. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm just going to pencil down a 2066 release date. And let's see how it goes. Let's go 2065. Because I don't see this coming any sooner than that. Mate, if we add Vegas into the mix, that's going to go to 2075. Let's not be crazy. I think Microsoft's going to have them cancel that one live service game they're thinking of making where you drive around stealing things. You mean Contraband? I mean, we've seen literally nothing of Contraband, heard nothing from Contraband. It's literally just stuck in limbo. I don't think, I don't even know if it's still in development. Will be now 17th for Fallout 5? I think so, yeah. If you've got a PC, you can probably mod it to look better. I don't know. Kane is gonna live forever, right? So, brothers, go find Kane and ask him how it feels to be immortal. As long as there's booze. You never know, man. Booze might dry up someday. And they might stop making Gears games as well. But yeah, I mean, at some point in 2060, we might get this game. I'm not holding my breath. This is going to be a long one, honestly. It's only been greenlit, so it's going to take forever. They really do need to find ways to speed up the whole development lifecycle. 7 to 10 years for a game is crazy. Essentially, they're going to make one game every 2 generations of a console. That's mental. Never disturb Kate. Vagrant Story? Maybe. AI will fix that. I mean, that's what the hope is, right? That's what they're all banking on. That AI will actually speed things up. And in theory, it can, right? If it's used correctly to do the mundane jobs, and then you have the developers go in and, you know, fix up the code afterwards, that's really all they need. But, you know, these companies don't want to use AI to work with people. They want it to replace people. And that's where the problem comes in. Because if you don't have enough people to fix the code, because these code, you know, AI isn't flawless. I mean, just today I was looking up some manga books, and I saw it was a Nier manga book that I was looking up, and the title was very similar but different. And I thought they just changed the, and you know, I didn't even see the difference in the title because it was so similar. They just literally switched the words around, but they were the same words, but just switched them around. And the cover art was different. So I Googled, and AI said that they were exactly the same book, word for word. And then when I went into Reddit actually, people in Reddit basically told me that no, they're 2 different stories. You know, one's a bunch of short stories and the other one is fake. So even AI gets things wrong, which we're all aware of. But that's just a, you know, recent example of something really simple and basic where it couldn't differentiate between 2 books with similar names. I mean, it really depends on how thing you're really talking about, you know, how simple you want to go with AI. Realistically, you know, AI has been in development for a number of years, right? It's not like something new. It's more the advanced way that AI is pushing forward now. Akira is hitting the cinemas again? At some point, they just got to give up. They're milking that more and more. So, I'm going to have something up for this. Apparently, this is 7 p.m. If someone in chat can just confirm that what I saw today was correct, this is supposed to start at 7 p.m. in UK. Anyone in the UK, can you confirm this? I know, Bags. I know. It's weird. Some of them just don't, you know, don't need it. I mean, I think I saw a really cool post today about a movie. Like, if you've watched the original Naked Gun movies, how can they actually recreate that with keeping today's audience in mind? It's just not possible. You can't recreate that movie, so why even attempt it? Oh, so they're actually making a sequel to Akira. But no, is that 7 p.m.? Because when I looked it up today, it said 7 p.m. And I wasn't 100% sure. you could just expect to get cancelled. I mean, come on. Naked Gun is a fantastic movie. Aeroplane is an amazing movie. It is pure comedy. But you cannot sit here and tell me that you can recreate those movies like for like in today's society and it will be seen as a successful game. You see, I'm not even sure if that is a real thing, Steve, and I'm even scared to look it up, knowing you. Here for points. Again. I mean, I think some remakes can work, right? But not all. I will check that out later. But yeah, so opening night live. We're going to be streaming that here. I think it's 7 p.m. start, so I'm going to try and be live around 6 o'clock my time. So we will start about 2 hours earlier than I normally start. Expect me to be about 2 minutes late as tradition. But other than that, it's either going to be 6 or 6:30, and we're going to hopefully have a good time. I know there's going to be playable Resident Evil 9 on the shop floor. Pragmata's going to be playable, and Onimusha from Capcom. Spaceballs 2 is coming. It is real. You guys are... Alright, no, I'm gonna search for it on a tab that's not visible. I don't trust you guys. Wait, he's not joking. It's real. It's actually real. I feel this. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about that. We're honest, upstanding individual. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. I am not looking it up publicly. That does not look like something I'm going to be showing on my YouTube channel. Nope. But what do you hope to see at opening night live outside of Jeff Keighley? Because obviously everyone is looking forward to seeing Jeff Keighley. What else are we hoping to see? Should stream it on movie night in Discord? Maybe. Still trying to find the logistics for that, but apparently there's some demand to have like a movie night where we just pick a movie and watch during Discord collectively on like a whole watch thing. So I don't know if anyone's interested in that sort of thing, but watch this space. Just trying to work out the logistics for it and how we can make it work if anyone's interested. I want to see more of that game, but I can't see. I can't remember its name. Clearly couldn't have been that important. Jeff Keighley DLC in Death Stranding 2. That would be amusing. You know, I'm actually really enjoying Death Stranding 2. I actually, I think the side missions are really boring and really bad, and the way they're actually situated is horrible. But outside of that, I think, you know, story-wise, graphics-wise, music-wise, gameplay-wise, in terms of like combat and stuff, boss battles, it's actually really cool. I really like it. Oh, Black State. That I remember that. That's that super realistic looking game, right? That actually looked really cool. That might be there. Let's get past the story points. I mean, the boss battles are pretty intense. High on Life 2 got you excited? That's good, dude. I never got into the first one. Job change is always scary, dude. But if... Wait, if you loved your job, why did you quit? You know what? You don't have to answer that question. But I hope it works out for you, dude. A Zoom call with Kojima. Yeah, this was me getting absolutely smashed and having a void out within 5 seconds of the boss starting. I wonder if Ananta will show anything. I mean, that would be a really good place for Ananta to show something. Hey, mate, my gameplay there was amazing. But I wanted to, like, set the bar low, so now when you see my gameplay, it's going to be so good that, you know, it's going to make me look even better. Because now you're going to be like, man, Chaos actually has some moves, has some skill. And then you'll realize that that was all just for show, innit? This is Death Stranding 2. Happy Cloud Gamer, just go in with no regrets and take the new each day as a new adventure, man. That's all you can do. But congrats on the new job and the new change. At the end of the day, you gotta move on when you gotta move on. Apparently it's more of a walking simulator than the first game was. The boss battles are few and far between. Is there anything lower than your gaming skills? Yeah, your intellect. Oh! That. Sorry, you walked right into that one. But yeah, anything... What other games are you hoping to see on opening night live? Yeah, this is the sequel. Sony and Kojima Productions gave me a review copy, or a preview copy, but because I went into hospital, I didn't have enough time to get as much gameplay as I wanted, so I put out a 15-hour preview video, and they were happy with it overall. I explained the situation. It is what it is. I didn't plan on going into hospital. Kojima made a thing. New Sega games? Oh, mate, I hope they show Crazy Taxi. That and Jet Set Radio. That would be so freaking cool. Let's have a look. Kojima Produzione. I'd bet money on a Zoom call with Kojima. You know that's going to happen, right, PS5 Bloods? You know that's going to happen. Jeff Keighley seems absolutely hooked to Kojima. Are you sure, Steve? I'm not seeing anything. I haven't seen anything. When do you think Death Stranding 2 will be on GeForce Now? When it releases on PC. PlayStation isn't on GeForce Now, so if it was, well, Sony wouldn't allow it anyway. So it needs to be on PC first. They fixed a lot of problems 16 had. Oh yeah, I wonder what that super game is. That's kind of been in limbo for a while as well, right? Boosteroid plays PC games, not like. Good night, Paul. Boosteroid plays PC games, but that's it. So if we look at this, it looks like Yoshi P had an interview with Square Enix, where quite a bit was discussed, but they did double down on a multi-platform release moving forward. They will strive for a multi-platform release moving forward, and in light of supporting that, they announced today a Life is Strange collection that has all 5 games, which actually would have been a really cool collection if they had all of them in physical form. That would actually be a box set, but it's only 2 games and the other 3 are digital codes, which really kind of ruins the box set, right? But it is what it is. It's really cheaply priced at $59.99 for all 5 games, so that's actually really good. But it's exclusive to PlayStation. So when they kind of saying they strive for a multi-platform release moving forward, and yet still turn around and do stuff like that, it doesn't make any sense to me. But apparently Final Fantasy 17 is unsure whether it's going to be turn-based or action-based. I just don't want them to do what Expedition 33 did, because it was cool there. The whole parrying system and dodging system is interesting, but I think it really works for that game. I don't think it would work everywhere. And I don't want them just to copy that system, but I would prefer they just pick a lane and go with it. So hopefully they will. It's a little bit of a shame that Yoshi is still being split over 3 or 4 projects, as some of you may or may not know, but Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO, is seriously suffering and has been suffering ever since he kind of split his attention away from it. While he was fully focused on there, 14 was prospering like crazy. Ever since he's kind of split his attention, it's kind of gone all over the place, and this new expansion clearly fell through, is just falling apart. But good luck to Square Enix 14 and whatever Final Fantasy comes next. But I guess they're already thinking about Final Fantasy 17, so chances of seeing that, Gamescom is unlikely. Hold on, they're not buying. I mean, just look at Astrobot. You got 75 million consoles apparently, and only 1 million bought it. It's a really good game, but only 1 million bought it. Number seems too low. It didn't even have a 5% uptake. It's actually a 1.6, but who's counting? But even that is just low. Didn't even get a 5% uptake. Phil? But it's just weird. Do you know what, chat? There is something I want to ask you guys. And this one's a little controversial. Oh. What do you think? Do you think cross-gen is a good thing? Or do you think it, number one, harms? Do you think it takes away from the gaming experience? Or do you think cross-gen is a good thing? So, I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I mean, Woodstar, you're being generous with the first year. I think within the first 3 to 6 months max. I mean, I get it. You've got a big audience behind there, so companies want to capitalize off that. But it kind of removes the incentive to go and spend all that money on a next generation console when all those games are going to work on your previous console. Why would I buy that console day one if the game isn't going to utilize the hardware? If a game is cross-gen, it can never really push the boundaries. It can't push ahead. So what's the point? You're basically playing a capped product. We've had a few games, right, that are true next gen. I mean, Death Stranding 2 is only on PS5. We've had Returnal, Starfield. I mean, lots of Xbox games are only playable through the cloud on the previous gen, so I mean, that's whatever. Alan Wake 2. I don't know. I just feel like by having games being cross-gen, I get the financial side of it. But those people that are investing day one into your new hardware are kind of being shafted. They're not being respected by the games being cross-gen. I mean, the first 6 months I get because the games could overlap. And like Brick says, day one. But after that, I think the games should just start being made for the platform that's the latest thing. That's my opinion anyway. Yeah, they have. With Xbox, it's the fact that you can use your Xbox One with cloud to allow you to play. Oh, you meant Destiny 1. Okay. I mean, Destiny 2 is still supporting the PS4 and the Xbox One. You know, the actual D2 is still supporting Xbox One and PS4 base models. How is the PC and the next generation version supposed to do better when they're so limited by the hardware of what those machines are offering? That doesn't matter, Diablo, because they're still limited by the hardware. Even if you don't buy the hardware, it's still being played on that hardware, and that's being transferred over to you. So it's still being limited by that hardware with what they can do. Man, Bungie really trying though with Edge of Fate. They went back to the original Destiny 2, Destiny 1 title theme. That brought back memories. But yeah, interesting stuff. Nintendo has decided that they're going to be, well, this isn't so much of a Nintendo thing. This is actually a Square Enix thing, right? They've basically said, we are not going to allow you to upgrade Dragon Quest HD Part 1 and 2. You either buy the Switch version, which is going to get no performance benefits from the Switch 2, or you buy the more expensive Switch 2 version. Buy the one for your platform, and that's that. So this is where that question came from, because they're kind of basically saying, we're going to have two versions of this. One is going to be inferior. The other one's going to just be better overall. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure they could have patched this in order to make it work, but I'm wondering if they've actually added anything to the Switch 2 version that will be exempt or not included in the Switch version. Because if they do that, that could open the road to kind of different ways of development. Wait, Rift Apart was on the PS4? Are you sure? Yeah, Woodstar, if it's the way I'm thinking this is going to be, where this is basically the inferior version on previous gen, but it doesn't interfere with the next generation version, and it basically says, right, this has got this and this extra features, it's got this and this extra online features and whatnot. This one doesn't have it because it's the older version of the game. I think this would work, and I think this would solve that problem. I think this would solve that problem. I agree, Woodstar, 100%. If they wanted to find like a happy medium, this would actually solve that problem. Rift Apart's portal switching was crazy though. That was insane. Like, instant load was pretty impressive. And it had to be instant load as well. Jesse, PCs were using SSDs, but they weren't using SSDs that fast. At the time, you couldn't buy an SSD at the speed that the PS5 had it at. It was just faster than the SSDs that were available. At least that's what memory serves. They caught up quite quickly, mind you. But at the launch of the PS5, I think it had the fastest. Plus, the way the PS5 actually stores the information is different. So it handles it in a different way to Windows as well. The SSDs on PC, I think, were 5,500 read speed. The PlayStation had 7,000. You couldn't actually buy an upgraded SSD for the PS5 when it first launched. They didn't exist. And when the first ones came out, they were really, really expensive, like £300-400 for a terabyte. It wasn't until like a year later before they started to flood the market. In terms of the SSD, it's not the SSD itself, it's the read and write speed. PlayStation needs 7,500 or 7.2K read speed, or Gen 4 basically. At the time, SSDs were only at Gen 3. Yeah, we're talking M2, Susano. PCs were on Gen 3. PlayStation released that as well. It's like the PS2, right? When the PS2 first came out, generally on PCs, you had like a FSB of like 100, 200 megahertz. But the PS2 was running at 2,000 megahertz. It was crazy. It was actually able to calculate stuff quicker than a PC could. Sony is quite good with that. I still remember that. That's something that I don't think I'll ever forget. 2,000 megahertz FSB? Mate, you got to 500 FSB back then and you probably blow your motherboard. They weren't available at the time though, Steve, or they were super expensive. They were out of reach of people. I mean, the PS2 did so well because of the DVD, right? People bought a PS2 because it was the cheapest DVD player. First consumer SSDs were still SATA. There you go. There you go. I remember it not being available because you couldn't actually play the games on it. You couldn't even buy them. Because I remember wanting to upgrade because it only came with like 600 gigabytes and it wasn't having it. Now it's like super cheap. All right, this is one for you PC tech heads out there. I actually don't know the answer to this, so someone in chat will probably know the answer to this. So my 3090 sits on my NVMe slot. I don't have an NVMe in there. But if I put an NVMe underneath the GPU, would the heat dissipation affect the graphics card or vice versa? Or am I just better off not doing that? I don't actually know the answer to this. I always think it's gonna, you know, the heat is going to affect one or the other or both. So I've kind of strayed from doing that. I did want to add more memory, but not like that. Yeah, the problem is the way the graphics card sits down, the heatsink, I think, is going to be really close to the graphics card. So I'm not sure if I can get away with putting a heatsink because it literally sits on top. And no, Steve, I'm not going through some crazy, wacky, custom water cooling system. I know that's coming. It's just not going to happen. It's not happening. I am using that one, Steve. I wanted to use the second port as well. Yeah, Jesse, I'm just not sure. So I've kind of strayed away and might just get a standard SSD instead. But yeah, this is the new norm that a lot of companies might actually be going to now with Nintendo Switch. So outside of the games that were the Nintendo ones, official Nintendo ones that will probably allow you to upgrade, it looks like third-party studios are going to go the route of you buy one or the other. That's it. You know what? I'm going to open that door because it is baking in here. I'm going to be right back, chat. I'm going to leave Chan over here. Ah, I'm back. What? What happened? You should make a custom liquid cooling heatsink for your SSD into a... You know what? I'll leave that to you, Steve. I will leave that to you. I will definitely leave that to you. I'm sure you'll have a good time. Is this the... Do you know what, Susanna? At some point, I'm going to upgrade my motherboard. I'm just going to make sure the NVMe slot isn't underneath the graphics card. It's an Asus Prime 90, I think. Let me see, device manager. Are you serious? Literally just opened my door and it's pouring. It starts to pour down with rain. Well, at least it should get cooler, or it's going to get hotter. One or the other. Let's see. Right, so my motherboard is a Prime Z90 Z690A. Prime's Z690A. It's an old motherboard. It's, you know, it's due an upgrade. Look, my PC is hot. Like, really hot. Like, the heat that's pumping out is crazy. I mean, it's cool inside at like 40 degrees, 30 degrees. But the heat that's coming out, you can pretty much just put like a little grill on top and have a little barbecue. You know? So, it looks like this is becoming a trend, right? With the media. The media has decided that they can just go around, say whatever they want, and then come back 5 minutes later and say, sorry guys, I made a mistake. Let me just correct it. Let me clarify. So we've seen Christopher Dring do this quite often. It's not the first time he's done it, and it probably won't be the last. But Schreier now is getting in on the act. Hey, Louis Rivera, how's it going? Schreier decides that he wants a bit of that action too, where he says, last I spoke about a month or two ago, Sony Santa Monica's new IP is going great. And so everyone went crazy. Santa Monica working on a new IP? Holy crap, this is like the best news ever. And, you know, everyone went crazy about it, right? Jason Schreier says Santa Monica's new IP is going great. He's referring to the new IP that is being directed by Cory Barlog, rumored to be a sci-fi game. These are the words that came from Jason Schreier himself. And yet, you know, on point, Jason Schreier says, I'll put it this way. it's not a new IP, even though he said it's a new IP, but it might feel like one. So it's not a new IP, even though he said it. Maybe that's why people are confused. People are confused because you said it's a new IP. Please don't ask me more questions about this because I lied and I don't want to fess up to it. If I wind up reporting more information at any point in the future, it'll be in an article, not on a forum. So I've planted my seed, now you know where to find more information. I can also confirm that Ashong knows what they are talking about, and that sci-fi stuff that people have apparently believed for years now is nonsense. So it's gone from being an IP that is sci-fi, that is new, to it's no longer a new IP, it's no longer sci-fi, and it's no longer a life. It's like, come on. It's like, come on. People don't understand TDP Ghosty. It's fine that they are designed to be used. This is the thing, right? And that's why AI is going to be dangerous as time goes on. Because the more misinformation that is placed out there, like Steve is saying there, the more the information that they get is going to be completely wrong. Like I looked up something today and the information was 100% wrong that AI gave me. 100% that Google's AI gave me. No, it's not a new IP, but it's something unexpected and will feel like a new IP. But it's not a new IP, even though it originally was a new IP. Now it's not a new IP, and apparently originally it was sci-fi style, but now it's definitely not sci-fi style, and now it's not a licensed product either. So I've got some breaking news for you all, right? Xbox is working on a new IP, but it might not be a new IP. It is a racing game, but it might not be a racing game. And it might be based, and it's based on an alternate universe, but it might not be based on an alternate universe. You'll find out some news about this probably sometime next year. Don't come at me with any questions on what, on any of the information I'm giving you. Once I've got more information, I'll have a video on the exact details as and when I find them out myself. If Sunset Overdrive is being remastered, I guess Insomniac is too busy right now to work on it. But Sunset Overdrive is built on the Spider-Man engine. I mean, Spider-Man was literally built off Insomniac's Sunset Overdrive engine. They just improved upon it, right? And this is why I want Spider-Man to actually go over to Xbox, because if they do that, then it removes the barrier for Sunset Overdrive 2 to be a real thing. Sunset Overdrive 2 was pitched to Sony, but because of the contract that Microsoft has with with Insomniac, where the next two games that they make have to be released day and date with Xbox, the pitch was denied. So clearly Insomniac Games want to make this game. The desire and the passion is there for them to actually do that. However, Sony said no. So if Spider-Man actually goes over, this is actually the reason why I want Spider-Man to go over, because this would then remove any barrier that Sunset Overdrive would have, and Microsoft and Sony could potentially collaborate to make this a real thing. Sunset Overdrive is a really good game, and it deserves a sequel. And I'm really hoping that one day we get that sequel. Sunset Overdrive actually did sell well. what makes you think that it didn't sell well? It did sell well. Microsoft screwed Insomniac Games. That's why Insomniac only made $567. Microsoft absolutely screwed them, like royally. Like, this isn't even up for debate. They completely and utterly screwed Insomniac. The game made $567 for Insomniac, but I think Microsoft kept like a ridiculous amount of the profits that was agreed beforehand in their contract that they made. Probably another reason why Insomniac Games went the other way and went to Sony. But the money that was actually made from Sunset Overdrive, Microsoft kept all the profits. They left Insomniac Games with nothing other than breaking even. So that's wholly on Microsoft. And Insomniac Games then went and met up with Sony. Sony gave them a better deal, and then you have those Spider-Man games you have today built on the engine that Microsoft supported to make. Louis, that's pretty much my thinking as well. But the actual game did well, right? It was well received. It did well in sales, but 2 million copies is pretty good, right? Don't forget, we're talking 10 years ago, where the install base wasn't as great. 2 million back then was 2 million. I mean, look at it. Stellar Blade sold 1 million, and that was deemed a success. 2 million is a lot of copies, guys. The game only cost 14 million to make, right? Just working out the maths alone from 2 million sales, it's a lot of money. Yeah. It would be wrong if the multi-trillion-dollar company didn't get the lion's share. Nah, it doesn't, Bags. I'm not sure if it was a launch title, Brick. I just know me and my kid played that game to death. We absolutely just loved that game. Especially my younger son. He absolutely loved that game. So him and me would sit down and play that like all the time. And I really wanted a sequel for that for quite some time. But we can't get it because of that contract deal. And if Spider-Man goes to Xbox, that contract, that clause in the contract no longer becomes a problem. Because at that point, the cherry has been popped, you could say, for their single-player games. Oh, that's cool, Louis. I know, right? But so that's actually my incentive into wanting, Spidey as an Insomniac game to go to thing, because then Sony wouldn't really have a reason to turn them down if they wanted to revisit with another pitch for that game. Replay it. I did. It still plays really damn well today, in this day and age. It's available on PC. Yeah, he definitely can't resist doing that, being one of those. Oh, it's been longer than that since I played it. Definitely longer than that. It is available on PC, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Unless I remember wrong. I mean, I don't think I remembered wrong. Yeah, it is available on PC. It's £15. And apparently it's in my library. So apparently I've already got it. Don't remember when I bought it, though. It's a long time ago. But yeah, I really hope for a sequel. I want a sequel. And if that's what it takes to get it to happen, then so be it. I am for it. You know, some of these games do kind of deserve another outing. That's my, that's my view on this. But yeah, so there was Jason Schreier saying it is, and then it isn't, and then it is, and then it isn't. He literally pulled a Drink. When Drink said about Xbox Game Pass being sustainable, not sustainable, then it is sustainable, then it... Man, that whole conversation, those ponies, they lap that shit up real quick. Hey, Bear, you're going to have a great time. It'd be broken as hell if they made it. I know, the game was like really ahead of its time. You know, Insomniac Games really showed what they can do. Game Pass, lots of games coming soon. We've got clearly the winner here is if you're on Game Pass Standard, they are treating you really good at the moment. You know, Game Pass Standard, you are getting a lot of games. You are getting Grounded, but you're not getting Grounded 2. You're not getting Wu-Chang. You're not getting Will World. You're not even getting Abiotic Factor. You're not getting RoboCop. You're not getting My Friendly Neighborhood. And you're not getting Back to the Dawn. But you are getting Game of the Year, Farming Simulator 25. And clearly, that is the best game on this list. So if you are a standard, Game Pass Standard customer, just know that they are looking out for you. You are only getting one of the 8 games that are available on display, but you are getting the best one out of all of them. So, clearly, as a standard player, you don't want to play Wu-Chang. You've got no interest in Grounded. You don't want to try RoboCop, whatever that bicycle game is. Clearly, you don't want to know your Friendly Neighborhood, Back Alley Spider-Man, and Back to the Dawn. Well, if you can find it cheaper. And once again, if you got the reference, good on you. I think the difference is like pennies. I think it's like $5 difference. It ain't even worth getting Standard. Standard shouldn't exist. Standard is just a waste of time. But Microsoft did it deliberately, so they've got a tier for $10, $15, and $20. That's it. They wanted to have like a free tier system, so the gap between Game Pass Core and Game Pass Ultimate isn't so wide. So by putting Standard in between, it kind of breaks and gives that illusion. But anyone going to get Standard is really just wasting their money. You either go ultimate or you don't. It's really that simple. I can't recommend standard to anyone. I literally can't recommend it to anyone, and I don't think it should exist either. And the way they do these, I think they should just have a separate ultimate and standard. And so they should list all the ultimates here and all the games going to standard here. This is so confusing. I don't understand why they keep doing it like this. This is just way confusing. Just have ultimate on the left and list all the games that are coming. And then just have a little small section over here. You know, just enough for one box for Farming Simulator. And that's it. That's all you need. If they acquire another studio, Steve, they probably will. Yeah, but then you've got like so many of them that just have standard and then not standard. It would just be so much more visually easier for people to just differentiate. The way that it's done like this, I don't like it. Look. It might be a Souls-like game, but I'm still going to try it because I see the waifus. And everyone in chat knows that if there's a waifu, I'm at least going to give it a try. Them's are the rules. You know, we don't deviate from those rules. See, Vincey knows. I actually am going to pick that up. I bought a few games during the Steam sale this time round, including a few Final Fantasy games. So when the next sale comes along, I'm going to pick up AI Limit and see what it's like. I played the demo and I actually thought the demo was okay. I think I played the demo. Yeah, I don't 100% games. I knew Super Grok was made for chaos. Mate, you should just see the gacha games I play. Mondays and Wednesdays. You should come out and over to Twitch and have a look. Have your mind blown. And nope, I do not play that horse game that the ponies are playing. Plenty of them are playing that new waifu horse game. I'm surprised it isn't exclusive to PlayStation. Soon, dude. I'm starting to feel a lot better. So, soon. I'm starting to get a bit more comfortable with everything. I'm just taking it, you know, I don't want things to get silly. But I have purchased it. It is there. It is installed. So, you know, I finally picked it up. I'm hoping that Xbox Ultimate sale, which should be starting on Thursday, has some Play Anyway games. Got reward credits burning a hole in my pocket. Hey, man. Cool, give me my catapult. Actually, if the Xbox sale is starting on Thursday, I might wait on those Final Fantasy games that I'm looking to buy on Steam and maybe pick them up on Xbox instead. Hopefully they'll play anywhere, and that would actually work really well. Yep, it does. It's totally wacky. It is such a creatively awesome game. Look, since Final Fantasy IX has been dumped into the woods, the remake at least, or it might not be. It might actually still be a thing, you know. The Final Fantasy IX remake that was made by a bunch of people, the website was taken down. So maybe they were making it in the background and no one really knew about it. But either way, 9 was one of the few that I haven't finished. So I do want to finish it. My save got corrupted when I transferred it from the PS2 to the PS3 at the time. Buy Quantum Error on Steam? Nah, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. I tell you what, you can buy it, and then one day I'll stream it. Yeah, I think I was on like disc 2, and then the PS3 came in. I was like, yeah, boy, let's get that adapter, plug it into my PS3, transfer the save, booted up my game because I imported my PS3 from the US, so I can play all my US-based PS1 games. And the save said, you shall not pass. And at that point, I never went back. Man, that was the cheapest console I ever bought. That was so expensive. In the UK, that console was £600. But the exchange rate was so good and so powerful for the UK to the pound. The economy in the US went to shit at the time. I ended up picking it up for under 300 quid. That was and I didn't pay customs too. That was like a good deal. That George Foreman PS3. Nah, it's your job to treat me. What do you mean I stole? I paid less than 300 quid for it. What are you on about? I paid like 200 and something quid for it. That's a lot of money. More than I paid for my Pro. But still. I paid over double what I paid for the Pro. It's all good. But yeah, no stealing of the PS3. I bought that with hard cash. Well, I don't know what Labor is doing at the moment. They've gone crazy. I did not steal no PS5 Pro. So, chat, I did a thing this last week. Well, this week, I guess. Was it this week? No, it was last week. I did a thing on the weekend. I don't have the receipt. You can ask for that receipt all you want. But I did a thing over the weekend. So, some time ago, I turned around and I said that if I find it for 150, I'll pick it up. And then I said, it's not worth 150. And then I said, if I find it for 130, I'll pick it up. And then when I found it for 130, to my disbelief, I said it was still too much money. And I said, if I find it for 120, no, for 115 or less, I'll pick it up. to more than Foundry, I found it for less than 115. And so I turned around and said, if I find it for less than 100, I'll pick it up. Now, there's no way that this thing is going to sell for anything less than 100 quid when, and that's including shipping, when it's, you know, selling easily for 150 everywhere. I found it for £80. I found it for 80 quid. I don't think I can go any lower than that. So I did the thing and I picked one up. I'm a man of my word. I stuck to it eventually. You know. Wait until it's 50. It came with a carry case and a dock for 80 quid. I mean, technically with the carry case and the dock, it is 50 quid. So I will be checking it out and making a video and seeing what my thoughts are on there. I only found out today that you can actually do the same thing on your Vita if you've got it jailbroken. Which I was a little bit gutted about. Could have saved some money. I did not know you could do that with the PS Vita. But apparently you can. What do you mean chaos full-on pony? I am not full-on pony. What are you guys talking about? You don't know the meaning of full-on pony. Can see the blue bleeding over your eyes. What do you mean? See? Gorsty believes I'll never be full pony. Oh, see, Devin is full pony. My guy bought like 3 copies of Concord. There's no hiding from that. But chat, is there anything else anyone wants to talk about? I've gone through everything that I wanted to cover in today's stream. I don't think there's much else going on. We are going to be doing the Games Night Live, or whatever it's called. Is it Games Night Live? What is it called? I keep thinking Opening Night Live. I mean, why is it such a weird name? Opening Night Live. So we're definitely going to be streaming this, so hopefully I'll see a bunch of you there. We're going to start like maybe anywhere between half an hour to an hour before the show starts. So I'll have a placeholder up probably this weekend. I know it's a little early, but it'll be there a month early waiting for you guys. So make sure you just click on that bell so you're notified nearer the time so you don't miss out. Do you wonder what people think turn-based means? Well, turn-based means you go, then I go. Hey, Ghosty. Let's be reasonable here, right? An in-depth explanation on quantum physics with no less than 20,000 words? It's okay. I'll ask Grok. I'll have that here. Alright, folks. I guess we are done for today. And I'll be streaming some WoW tomorrow. So if anyone wants to hang out over at Twitch, feel free. It's a Chaos Lounge live over at Twitch. And I will hopefully see a bunch of you there. Right, folks. That's it. Thanks for an awesome evening. And I'll see you potentially tomorrow. If not, I'll see you on Thursday. Have a good one, folks. And I'll see you next time. Peace. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you then. Bye.